Wait, you're thinking about homeschooling? Don't you know those kids are weird? How will your kids get any socialization? If you've had questions like that before, I've got the answers. Hi, and welcome back. My name is Amanda. If you are new here, this is the Our Little Path channel where we talk all things faith, homeschooling, and motherhood. And today, I've got the homeschool doozy for you. All of those questions of how will your children get socialized? Because it's not like, being with a family and seeing their relatives and seeing friends isn't counted as socialization. That's like the biggest lie. So I'm here to dispel some of those myths and provide you with 5 different ideas on how to socialize your children. When we were thinking about homeschooling, we did have people ask us, how will your kids get socialized? And that seems to be like a big concern. Or, I didn't grow up homeschooling. My husband was homeschooled for, I think, like a year at one point in his schooling life. But, I always thought homeschool kids were kind of the weird ones, but really they're not. I think we just, as a society, have laid that perception on because homeschooling hasn't been as common in the past. But now it is. It's definitely taking off, especially with the last year and that. But, homeschooling has really grown. And I think even before all of the mess of 2020 and 2021, homeschooling was really taking off and groups were popping up to make socialization, not even something to be questioned. But even before homeschooling was possible, socialization still exists. So, I think the key is that mom has to do some work, or dad has to do some work. It's not just like, okay, I'm pulling my kids out of school, and we're gonna stay at home and we're not gonna do anything else. Well, that's completely untrue. You meet people at the grocery store. Your kids speak to the people who are checking you out. You see people at church. Your kids are sometimes involved in RE classes or Sunday school classes, and they integrate and talk with children there and adults. And I think kind of the public school model, not public school, but the brick and mortar school model does a disservice to an extent because you're throwing all of these kids at the same age into one little bubble, and they're not interacting with kids as much who are older and who are younger. Your kids are homeschooling. Oftentimes you're hanging out with families or homeschool groups who have kids of various ages. And so they're kind of thrown into this mix of interacting with kids, anywhere from 2, 3, 4 years younger than them to 2, 3, 4, 5 years older than them and more. Really just depends on the age of your group. So to say that your kids are not going to get socialization is such a myth. Plus, if you have more than one child, hello, socialization right there. Like, when my kids tell me they are bored or don't have any friends, I'm like, 1, 2, I gave you 2 siblings, go play. Like, I don't know. For those that are only children, yeah, you do have to obviously branch out and do a little bit more work, and that's okay. That's not a problem. I still have to branch out and do a little bit more work to fit some of my older kids' needs, because we don't necessarily have a huge group that are around my oldest daughter's age. Well, my only daughter, but my daughter's age. We don't have a lot of kids around her age, and if they are, they're boys, and so we try to make a genuine effort to fit her desire of hanging out with girls her age, because she's 8. She doesn't want to necessarily, so she's 8, she doesn't necessarily want to be hanging out with boys all the time. So we try to make conscious efforts of hanging out with specific friends and families and doing play dates like that have girls that are her friends around her age. So yeah, you do sometimes have to cater, listen to your kids and what they want. It just can't be mom or dad's way all the time. You do have to, go out of your way sometimes as a parent to meet those needs for each kid. But yeah, so if you are thinking about homeschooling, just know that you can do it. You can find socialization. And I have 5 ideas or tips or ways to tell other people that you are getting plenty of socialization for your children. So my first one, and I have a card written down so I don't forget anything, but my first one is get your kids involved in sports. That is a great way to not only get them interacting with kids their age, but they're having to learn how to, take instruction from another adult figure in their life because they have their coaches. And then also just like learning how to do team aspects and things like that, which sometimes you don't get like those group aspects if you're just homeschooling at your house. So sports, some kind of music lessons. There's even group music lessons that you can get your kids involved with, or doing art lessons. There are, I know not always offered in smaller towns maybe, but you can always look for in-person art classes and things like that to get your child involved in some kind of group setting that way. That's probably like the easiest one to find, I would say, is sports and music overall. The second idea I would say is look for homeschool groups. Homeschool co-ops are a big thing. There are all different types of co-ops. There are co-ops that just do, park days, and there are co-ops that actually have part of the education involved with it. And each co-op functions a little bit differently. So do some research into local co-ops around you. Facebook's a good resource at finding groups like that, or just your general Google searches to find different groups. For people who are more into like classical schooling, Catholic Schoolhouse is a really good one. That's the main one that I am familiar with, that I would personally recommend, because we've had experience with a co-op that did classical schoolhouse education. So I would recommend that. But yeah, there's so many out there that you can find. And I definitely think the co-op is a great way to go, especially if it's, a co-op for just meeting and playing every Wednesday, or it's a co-op for meeting every Wednesday and doing certain subjects together. It's a really good way to get them involved with other kids their age or around their age. The next one I would say is connect at your local church groups. So let's say you find a co-op, but the co-op is, 45 minutes away. So maybe you're making that effort every week to go to that, but you'd like, some friends that are closer. I would say connect with your church, talk to your priest, find out if there are other homeschooling families, or put something in the bulletin, trying to get in touch and contact with other homeschooling families, because it's special to be able to connect with people from your local parish who not only share your faith values, but they also are homeschooling as well, so they can kind of relate and give you advice through that as well. So it's kind of a bonus for mom too. The fourth thing I would say is plan play dates or field trips. If you've watched any of my other videos before, you will know that I lead it doesn't have an official name, but it's a homeschool field trip group, or a co-op field trip group, you could call it. And so once a month we take field trips as a large group. That way we're able to get discounted rates and things like that. But even if you only have 1 or 2 other friends that who are doing homeschooling, then you can connect with them and try to do something once a month or every week, or do field trips every so often together. And that way you can kind of usually get group bonus rates. So I definitely would say look for things like that as well. There's some groups that already are set up doing that, or just planning stuff with your close friends that are homeschooling, or obviously you don't have to be close friends, but people that that are homeschooling. And then the 5th one, which is a little bit out of the box, maybe for some people, but I would say outschool classes. And if you're not familiar with what OutSchool is, this is not sponsored. This is just something that we've been utilizing this year and we really have enjoyed. OutSchool is an online teaching program, I guess you would call it, or website. They offer classes like from early ages, I think like probably preschool through high school, I believe. And they offer like any kind of class you could probably think of. Writing classes, drawing classes, speech classes. They just have things like a Pokemon trading card club. So your kids can be in the OutSchool Pokemon trading card club, and they basically get on, and there is a teacher who helps kind of guide the discussion, and they get to show off their Pokemon cards, things like that, for whatever your kid's interested. Maybe your kid is interested in horses. They have classes on horses, whether it's drawing or learning about horses. We utilize OutSchool as kind of like an elective thing. So your kids are interacting with other kids on the computer through Zoom, and there's a teacher, so they're also having to interact with another teacher besides yourself, and they're kind of learning how to manage being in kind of a classroom setting. And so we've really enjoyed it, and for Mom it's been really helpful because I have zero art skills, so I've been outschooling my art to my two kids. So Isabella's art has taken off this last few weeks since she started like a 13-week art class, and every week she brings me like the stuff they've been working on, and it's just phenomenal. She's doing so good, and I could never teach her that because I have zero art skills. So that has been really cool. And we don't have any local art classes. So when you can't find something local, find it on OutSchool. And then my son has been doing like a dinosaur, like learning about dinosaurs. And that has like an art component to it too, where they draw the dinosaur they learned about each week. So not only is he learning a lot about dinosaurs, but he's also learning how to draw the dinosaurs as well, even at 5. And they both do great. So I would highly recommend that as well. So when it comes down to it, if you're homeschooling, your children will be socialized. They will get plenty of it. I don't think it's something to worry about. I don't know why there's that stigma behind it, but for the most part, most of the homeschoolers I've met can converse with adults just as well as they can converse with kids their own age, older or younger. So don't worry, you've got this. I promise your kids won't be weird unless you want them to be weird. Because aren't we all a little weird anyways? So it's just my kind of weird or your kind of weird. And always remember to laugh, because if not, what are you gonna do? So I hope that my tips were able to help you. Let me know what you guys utilize to get your kids out and about, because let's call it that. Get your kids out of the house doing something. It's not socialization, just getting them out of your house and interacting somewhere else. I would love to hear those comments in the comment box below, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video if you would like to continue seeing more content. Have a great day. Bye.